Alright, in this video we're going to be talking about how to TA. How to technical analysis. What does that mean? How do we do it? Alright, so hopefully you guys all know this chart. This is the daily chart of Bitcoin. And my goodness, if that's not the most beautiful chart I've ever seen in my life, I don't know what is. Absolutely glorious. So let's jump right into it. How in the world to TA? How do we do this? Well, I'll show you how I do it. I'm not an expert by any means. I'm not a Wall Street technical analysis expert, but I'm going to show you how I do it and some of the thought processes I put into it. It's all, what's the word I'm looking for? It's all open for interpretation. It's all very subjective. You can draw your lines however you want. Nothing's right, nothing's wrong. So let's see, let's get right into it. Let's start with the most basic of all technical analysis, the trend line. I guess the first thing I need to point out is we are on the daily chart. When you're doing your technical analysis, I always recommend you start wide, start macro, and push your way in and start doing TA, on tighter, shorter time bands here. But always start on your daily, get an overall idea of where the trend is, what it's doing. Obviously with Bitcoin, it's very clear of what the trend is. I mean, it's up. So I just drew that line, right? What does that mean? And why did you draw it on the bottom and not the top? Well, whenever you're doing trend lines, you always draw them on the, here, let me get rid of this. You always draw your trend lines on what are called these valleys here, these lows. You never do them on the highs. When you're doing an uptrend, you do them on the lows. So back to our trend line. So we were drawing an uptrend. We'd start at this low right here, and we would connect it up here. Now, why'd I do that? There's a saying in technical analysis where 2 points are equal a trend or something like that. I'm going to completely butcher it here. Sorry. But 3 points is a confirmation. So you can see we've got 2 points, and then we've got our third point here is confirmation of the trend line going up. So that is how you do an uptrend. Now, whenever you're doing a downtrend, a little more difficult to do here because Bitcoin doesn't really have a downtrend going. Oh, I guess we do here. So whenever you're doing a downtrend, let me tighten up a little bit here for us so we can see. You're going to want to do from the peaks going down. So you see how I'm doing that? You're drawing as your peaks go down. That's where you're putting your downtrend lines. Uptrends on the bottom, downtrends on the top. It's backwards, I know, but that's just how we do it. So that's trend lines. The second most important lines you'll draw, I say, are going to be your support and resistance lines. So kind of the same concept. These are going to be your horizontal floors that you'll put in on the valleys, and same with your ceilings. That's going to be at your peaks. And you can see that draws you a nice little price channel here. Very important. These are going to be the levels that are key. You use these to determine good entry and exit points, right? So if we were trading Bitcoin right now, and we were using just simply our technical analysis, we would have gotten right down here to this floor and this uptrend, and we would have known this would have been a key time to buy and enter the market. So we would have bought our Bitcoin here. Where's my little brushy tool? We would have bought our Bitcoin right here. And as we approach this upper trend line, we're going to want to sell our Bitcoin at this trend line because we know that this has been a key level of resistance. Most likely, we're going to bounce off of this, come back down, wow. Most likely, we're going to come back down, bounce back up, back down, and then eventually break out and go to the moon here, right? That's the goal. If TA plays out the way that you're hoping it does. It doesn't always work out. I will say this, coming from the stock market, technical analysis works a hell of a lot better in crypto than it ever does in stocks. But that's a conversation for another day. So, yeah, there's your support, your resistance. You're going to want to use these to figure out your entry and exit points. And that's, honestly, when it comes to technical analysis, that's really all you need to know. I mean, support, ceilings, floors, trend lines. You know those couple tools, you're going to be just fine. I keep doing that. Man, I'm horrible. Sorry, guys. So yeah, there's that. Let's see, what else do you need to know for good technical analysis? It's going to be your fibs. That's probably going to be the third most important, we'll say. Boy, where in the world are my fib sequences? I promise you I've done this before. Fibonacci sequence, where are you? See, my problem is I've been trading on my phone because I'm just lazy and don't want to get up and go to the computer. So, then now we're on the computer, and now I can't find the darn Fibonacci's. Oh, here they are. My goodness. Okay, fib retracement. This is going to be a very important tool for you. And really the way this works is this just kind of gives you a visualization of where the price could go. So I'm just going to draw it out here from where the current price is. Click and drag. Sorry, click once and click twice. And that's going to give you this real colorful, rainbowy looking box. And you're like, what in the world is that? Well, what it is just using the old Fibonacci sequence to kind of give you an idea of where this price could go, right? Click on that. Drag her over. So you put your line right there where we're at. And you can see this kind of gives you an idea of other key levels. Whenever you're in price discovery is when I really want to use this. So right now Bitcoin's about to go into all-time highs. So we can use our fib to kind of give us an idea of where some key resistance levels might be whenever we enter this price discovery range, right? Because when we're up here, we're in no man's land, nosebleed section, right? We don't know where the price is going to go. But we can kind of use our Fibonacci sequence to gauge and do a little future price predictions, along with the trend lines that we've drawn too, can kind of help us figure out where the price could go. Now again, none of it's set in stone. TA doesn't work all the time, but it can definitely help give you an idea of what future prices might be. And it can also give you an idea of retracement too. So let's say you can see that if we get up here and we bounce off of our resistance line that we've drawn here, we could theoretically come all the way back down to either this channel, but the fibs got us right in this area as a little price channel that we could end up in. So, just some things to keep in mind. I should probably put my phone on silent when I do these videos. That's incredibly frustrating. I used to tell my staff all the time at the TV station I worked at to put your phones on silent or I'm going to take them from you, and here I am breaking my rules. But here we are. So yeah, that's trend line, resistance, support, resistance, Fibonacci's. That's really all you need to know to be a truly successful technical analysis, to at least have some idea and give yourself some tool when you're whenever you're making these trades, you know, to make your life a little easier is my goal. All right, guys, that's all I got for you. Just wanted to give you a quick little breakdown on how to do some quick TA. That's all I got. Have a good night.